A play that lives at the intersection of love and the ongoing struggle for LGBTQ plus visibility and safety takes center stage this weekend at Illinois Central College. Joining us is Olivia Bird, who's playing Callie, and assistant director and stage manager Oliver Johnson, or as I just gave them the nickname, O Squared.
O Squared, yes.
O today.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. So first and foremost, let's hear about this play.
Okay, so this play, it is a contemporary drama. It was written around 1999, and it's the story of two women. We have Callie and then the other lead, Sarah, who they start to meet each other, and through this friendship, they start to learn more about their identity and who they see themselves as, and there's some great character growth with your character especially.
Yeah, let's hear about that character growth, if you can tell us without telling too much, of course.
Well, Callie is she can be all over the place at times. She kind of starts the show being, we like to say, swervy.
Swervy.
She's a very
Yeah.
swervy
Yeah.
character.
What does that mean, swervy?
Think of it as she's very much like a people pleaser in a way, but also doesn't want to say what she wants. She's too scared to say what she wants. So she kind of goes around it until eventually she gets pressured her back into a corner where she'll finally do it.
No confrontation.
Very non-confrontational.
Oh, wow. And speaking of pressure, do you ever feel pressure having a lead role?
Yeah, there's a bit of pressure, but it honestly, with the group I get to work with,
Yes.
it's amazing. And it doesn't.
It works out because everyone in the production process has been a lead at ICC, most of them at least, and so there's that shared community of everyone knows what you're going through. Everyone can see that you're putting strides towards learning these mountains of lines and all of that blocking and whatnot. So yeah, you're doing a great job.
I'm sure that understanding helps a lot. And Oliver, you've acted too, right?
Yes.
So how does it feel kind of navigating or having experience in both roles as an actor and as well as the director?
So it's super, it really, doing the acting at ICC has been, that part of the process has been super rewarding. And then now getting to take a seat behind the table and see what you guys are doing and maybe try to think of stuff that I would do on the stage, but then see what you're doing and just recognize that, oh my gosh, well, my friends are such great actors. and it really is the combination of when you have acted on stage and now you're doing the assistant directing gig, that it opens up so many ideas that I wouldn't have, if I was on stage, I wouldn't have had maybe some of the ideas I've suggested, but now that I'm seeing it from a bird's eye view, it's good to get more eyes on the script.
Yeah, I'm sure. And just listening to you two before we actually started the interview, you have such a great relationship, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that's the same for the team and the crew.
Absolutely. I mean, my friend Natalie, she plays the other lead, Sarah. We went to the same school since we were kids, so like we have grown up together, and it's everyone's just really supportive, and it's really great to have like such a close-knit group of people to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like a very important play in regards to the story that's within it. So what exactly would you like or prefer the audience to walk away with after seeing it?
I think, if I may,
Go ahead,
I think that the theme to be taken away from this is that love wins. At the end of the day, love always wins, and connection and self-identity and realizing that in relationships you can change and you can feel free to change, and that freedom, just being able to be yourself and love yourself and love others. I think that's really when it gets down to it, that's what the show is about.
Very well said.
Yeah. And I think it's really a big journey of just finding who you are as a person and just, as you said, loving yourself.
Yeah, okay. All right, Olivia, I'm going to put you in the hot seat for a second.
Okay.
I want to hear your favorite line in your character voice. Take your time.
Oh, goodness.
Oliver's just excited as me.
Oh, my God. Oh, okay. It would be, Caesar, you've known her longer than I have. Just tell her to come over. If you were a dog, you'd do it.
Ooh.
And
Caesar is a cat.
Okay.
I should have clarified
context.
that. So Caesar's a cat, and it's how, spoiler, it's how me and Sarah meet. So
Yes.
it's the cat, and I'm asking the cat to call Sarah, and
Yeah.
he doesn't come out.
Yeah, because it was her cat, so she's like, hey, like, dial the numbers. I know you know them better than I do. You're like, so nervous, so swervy.
So
yeah.
it's very swervy, and
Yeah.
I love Caesar. He's great. I named
Yeah.
one of my cats after Caesar.
Oh, is it that
What?
precious? Oh, you just learned something new.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying this conversation with you two. We don't want to give away any more teasers, so let's tell the people when they can be in the door to see this for themselves.
Okay, perfect. So we open on Thursday at 7:30, and we have 7:30 shows on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and 2:30 shows on Saturday and Sunday. And this is at the Performing Arts Center at East Peoria, the East Peoria ICC campus.
Plenty of days, plenty of opportunities to catch these two in action, or one in action with you behind the curtain, of
Yes,
course.
yes.
Thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Thank you.